Imagine waking up one morning and finding your emails, favorite websites, even search engines, completely inaccessible. In February 2000, this nightmare became a reality for millions. The culprit, not a rogue government, not a criminal syndicate, but a 15-year-old kid armed with a computer, an internet connection, and an insatiable curiosity. Who was Mafiaboy, the teenager who managed to paralyze the internet? And how did a high schooler manage to outsmart some of the world's biggest tech companies? This is the story of Michael Calce, a teenage hacker whose cyber attacks forever changed the way we think about online security. Was he a misunderstood genius or a dangerous rebel? Let's unravel the tale of Mafiaboy, the boy who brought the internet to its knees. While most kids spent their time playing video games, Michael wanted to know how they worked. By the time he was in his early teens, his curiosity had grown into a full-blown obsession. He began spending hours on the internet, diving into chat rooms and forums where hackers and programmers shared their secrets. It was in these virtual communities that Michael learned the art of hacking. He discovered how to exploit weaknesses in computer systems, using tools and techniques shared by seasoned hackers. At just 13, he found himself captivated by the challenge and power of breaking through digital defenses. For Michael, hacking wasn't about money or malicious intent. Not yet, at least. It was about proving himself in the online underground, earning respect in a world where skill was the only currency that mattered. But as his skills grew, so did his ambitions. What started as curiosity and harmless pranks was about to escalate into something much bigger, something that would make headlines around the globe. On a cold February day in 2000, Michael Calce, known online as Mafiaboy, decided to test his growing skills. His target, the biggest websites on the internet; his weapon, a distributed denial of service or DDoS attack. A DDoS attack works by overwhelming a website's servers with fake traffic, forcing them offline. Michael had built a network of compromised computers, called a botnet, that he could control remotely. It was a digital army, and he was ready to deploy it. Yahoo was the first to fall. At the time, it was the most visited website on the internet, a search engine and portal relied upon by millions. For hours, users were met with error messages, and businesses that depended on Yahoo were left scrambling. Over the next week, Michael's attacks escalated. CNN, eBay, Dell, Amazon, one by one, these internet giants were taken offline, resulting in millions of dollars in losses. The media called it a cyber siege, and panic spread among businesses and governments alike. The audacity of the attacks left everyone guessing. Was this the work of a sophisticated cyber criminal gang? A hostile foreign government? No one imagined that behind it all was a high school sophomore, launching these attacks from the comfort of his own bedroom. As the attacks continued, tech companies scrambled to protect their systems, and law enforcement launched an international investigation. The race was on to uncover the identity of the mysterious Mafiaboy. What Michael didn't know was that every move he made online left behind a trail that would soon lead authorities straight to him. By the time Mafiaboy's attacks reached their peak, they had drawn the attention of some of the most powerful organizations in the world. The FBI, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, and tech giants like Yahoo and Dell were all working together to track down the mysterious hacker. Michael's downfall began with his own ego. In online forums, he couldn't resist bragging about his exploits. Investigators monitoring these forums quickly took notice of a user calling himself Mafiaboy, boasting about taking down major websites. From there, they traced his digital breadcrumbs. IP addresses connected to the attacks led them to a specific internet service provider in Montreal. Each clue brought them closer to uncovering his identity. In April 2000, law enforcement made their move. Armed with search warrants, they arrived at Michael's home. What they found was shocking. Evidence of the attacks stored on his computer, proving beyond doubt that this teenager was the infamous Mafiaboy. The arrest of a 15-year-old hacker stunned the world. How could someone so young have caused so much chaos? The media frenzy was immediate, with headlines proclaiming Mafiaboy as the teenager who brought the internet to its knees. For Michael, it was the end of his hacking spree, but for the world it was just the beginning of a long conversation about the vulnerabilities of the internet and the potential dangers of the digital age. After his arrest, Michael Calce faced a whirlwind of legal battles and public scrutiny. As a minor, he was tried in a Canadian youth court. He pleaded guilty to 56 charges, including mischief and unauthorized use of computers. His sentence? 8 months in open custody, 1 year of probation, and a ban on accessing the internet during that time. The punishment may seem light by today's standards, but it sent shockwaves through the tech world. This was the first time such a high-profile cyber attack had been carried out by someone so young, forcing companies and governments to confront the glaring vulnerabilities in their systems. For Michael, the legal consequences were just the beginning of his journey. The public branded him a criminal, but behind the scenes he began to reflect on what he had done. Over time, he realized the extent of the damage he had caused, not just to companies but to people who relied on the internet every day. Years later, Michael Calce emerged with a new mission. He traded hacking for helping, becoming a cybersecurity expert and consultant. Drawing on his experiences, he began working with businesses to secure their networks, ensuring they wouldn't fall victim to attacks like the ones he orchestrated. Michael also became a public speaker, using his story as both a cautionary tale and a lesson in redemption. He advocated for ethical hacking, showing how those same skills could be used to protect systems rather than exploit them. From a teenage hacker seeking recognition to a respected voice in cybersecurity, Michael's transformation is a powerful reminder of how even the biggest mistakes can lead to meaningful change. The story of Mafiaboy didn't just leave a mark on Michael Calce's life, it reshaped the way the world approached cybersecurity. His attacks exposed the vulnerabilities of the early internet at a time when many saw it as untouchable. In the wake of the Mafiaboy attacks, companies and governments were forced to act. Businesses began investing heavily in network security, creating protocols to prevent DDoS attacks. Governments introduced stricter laws on cybercrime and increased funding for cybersecurity initiatives. Perhaps the most enduring legacy of Michael's actions is the awareness he brought to the importance of cybersecurity. His story became a wake-up call, not just for corporations but for individuals as well. It highlighted the need to stay vigilant in an increasingly digital world. Today, Michael Calce uses his platform to educate others. His transition from hacker to cybersecurity advocate has inspired conversations about the ethical use of technology and the power of second chances. While some see his actions as reckless, others view them as a necessary disruption that helped pave the way for a safer internet. One thing is certain. Michael Calce's story is a reminder of how even the most unlikely people can spark significant change.